We're back on North Dakota today, and I'm with Chad Lyer. We're at Aero Service Team, and today we're going to be talking about outside maintenance as far as your gutters and downspouts. And Chad, we really haven't had heavy downpour rains for the most part this year. They've been more gentle rains, but with thunderstorms and summer coming on, that's going to be an issue, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been watching the weather, and the last couple of weeks, it's all been south of us, but
Yeah.
at some point we will have a rain event with more than a quarter inch in an hour.
Yeah.
And I don't think we've really experienced that in our market so far.
Yep.
It's been nice rains.
Yes,
Probably the positive rains, you know.
No runoff. It's just been a nice gentle rain. Now, you're also going to probably scold me a little bit. I go clean my gutters and downspouts in the fall and usually in the spring again, but I haven't done them this spring. And you're saying that would be a good idea to get up there and do that.
I was kind of suspecting that, Wayne.
Yeah. All right. Well, what's the reason? Leaves fall in the fall. You think if you get them out of there then you're in good shape, but you said that you know some people that have to clean them in the spring as well.
The way things have changed with landscaping, everyone's got trim around their house. Back in the 70s, you had grass up the house, a slope from the house. Nowadays, if you don't get that water over the outside of that trim and everything, around the house, your landscaping is more extensive these days, right? And if you're not getting that water over the outside of that landscaping, it's going to somehow find its way, most likely up against your foundation, creating long-term effects or getting a window well or some crack in your foundation. So that's why we're here to talk about this today.
Okay, we're talking about these downspouts, and like you said, this is an actual downspout. And Chad asked me, how much water do you think this thing will push away from your house? None.
Yeah, and that's just it. That came off of someone's house like this week. I was over at Better Contracting down the street, and I said, can I get an example of a downspout and a gutter extension? He gave me that. I said, why would you want that? And I'm like, because that's what happens, and that's what we're talking about.
Okay, does this happen because somebody ran into it with a riding mower or something like that?
A dog,
that's true.
It's hard to say. But yes, vehicles, things like that. Snow removal.
Yeah, it could be. Now, one of the things, and you see these advertised on television all the time, these leaf guard things, and you said it used to be you weren't necessarily a fan of them, but suddenly you are.
I was not a fan, but the technology has increased. I'm sure you can't see it very close, but there's two different levels of filtration here.
Okay. Yep.
And
a real fine one, and then underneath a more coarse.
And the thing that I've been told is that you can pop up a corner and rinse things if dirt gets in there over time. And I think there's less maintenance here because we're not here to encourage people to go on the roofs.
Yeah, that's true. As far as loose downspouts, loose gutters, what do you recommend as far as that's concerned?
I recommend at the first mowing or whenever you get out, make sure that your downspouts, everything looks good, and make sure that these gutter extensions are intact. You can see this one set up for about that 4 or 5 feet away from the house, wherever you can get that good drainage away from the home.
So unless unless your landscaping brings the water back towards the house, getting it 4 or 5 feet away is plenty.
And I'm not going to go on the record and say that, but if you can get it to the point where it's flowing in a good direction, absolutely great.
What about the roof? How do you check the roof?
The roof, I would suggest looking from the ground. Normally, if you have roof issues, you're going to see something on the ground, shingle, whatever.
Okay, I see. So if you see pieces of shingle or something along those lines, you've got an issue.
Then you know your problem. You go up on the roof, check yourself, or call a roofer at that point.
Okay, here we got the downspouts, the gutters, etc. But over here, we got some more information.
Yeah, and this is just some basic stuff that just happens. I've heard this rumor that trees grow every year.
Really?
Yeah, it's really weird. Shrubs.
You look around the shrubs, how much they've grown already this spring. It's amazing.
And Acme Tools, though, has been really good to us. They gave me a couple of tools, and all these battery-operated ones are very easy to handle these days. Little hedge trimmers, little chainsaws, pole saws. I mean, really safe to use, easy to use, lightweight. I mean, lift that.
Yeah. True enough, there's not much to it. Right away I wanted to turn it on. Thing is, and if you keep, with these smaller tools, if you keep updating it and you keep ahead of the game, then you don't have a big project that's going to take a professional maybe to take care of it.
Yeah, and the problem is with a lot of this tree trimming and stuff like that is it'll damage your roof, it'll damage your siding when the wind blows, when those storms come.
All right, and if that happens, then you end up with water issues or something like that, and that's when you call Aero Service Team. How do we get a hold of Aero Service?
We like you to come online at aeroserviceteam.com or Facebook. You can visit us in Bismarck or Dickinson. We're on Broadway Avenue in Bismarck, out in East Dickinson, and you can always give us a call at 223-9249.
Sounds good. Chad, thank you so much. Thunderstorms are on the way. We're going to have heavier rain than what we've had so far this year, so make sure you've got clearance for the water to go.
Absolutely. Make sure that drainage is going away from your house.
All right. Chad Lyer, Aero Service Team.